Thanks for joining us. For quickness, us here will just introduce ourselves in case you haven't met us. I'm Crystal. I'm your PTO president. My son Nolan is in fifth grade.
I'm Ashley. I'm your vice president, and my son Gus is in fifth grade, fourth grade. I'm just making up grade. He's at the school. He's here somewhere. Somewhere.
Hi, I'm Heidi Gerke. I'm the treasurer. My son Thorin is in third grade, and my daughter Corlena is in kindergarten.
Okay. Actually, do you want to introduce yourself really quick?
Hello, my name is Ana Orozco. Orozco. I had a first meeting. She's
You're here. You want to introduce yourself too?
My name is Sam.
And Karen.
And come over here.
Come on in.
Great. Hi, I'm Karen. I'm the volunteer coordinator and your media tech for these meetings. And I have a daughter in fourth grade with Mrs. Maddie.
So again, thanks for being here. We're so glad you guys are here. Sorry we're getting started a little late, but we will keep this right on track, so we'll get out of here at the right time. Let's start off with Karina and her principal report, because I know she has to leave early.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry I can't be there in person. I was actually in half day today because I have a horrible cold. But I did still want to check in with everyone because we've had a lot of exciting things happen, and I wanted to make sure that you all knew. I'm looking at the group. I think I saw some of you last night at the 4th, 5th choir concert. Can you give me a thumb if you were there so I could check? I know some of you were there. It was amazing. We ran out of chairs. We literally had no more folding chairs. So it was so exciting. The kids were nervous and, they were great. They were great. And our music teacher, Stevie, was super proud of just the amazing work they did, because this is all really on their own time, and they just meet for 30 minutes once a week, and they did amazing. So just want to make sure you all knew that, because that was super exciting. Another thing I wanted to share is we are back on for field trips now. So some of you may have had students this week who went to go see a play in downtown Portland. Our whole second grade went. I heard it was a hit. I heard in particular the girls' bathroom was a big hit because there was a fancy mirror and there was like a nice little couch to sit in. And apparently our young ladies thought that was fabulous, in addition to the play. And we have the second and third DLI classrooms going to a Spanish play, Cenicienta, which is Cinderella, in a few weeks. The third grade English classroom is getting to go see Matilda at Rex Putnam because we didn't want anyone to be left out. Fourth and fifth got to see the opera when it came down the street. We're working on a field trip for kindergarten. So we want to make sure that all of our students have an opportunity to have a field trip experience, because that's definitely something that's been lacking. And we want to make sure it's not just to go, right? But that it's academic and it's connected to their learning. But it's really joyful to see them come back and talk about it. So we also are doing a walking field trip with Aves Compartidas, which is a group that comes and talks to our students once a month about migratory birds and the watershed. And they're doing a 1-mile walking field trip in about a month as well. So lots of exciting things going on. So I wanted you to know that. And I think a request I have for all of you, you may have noticed that on Parent Square, we've been sending notifications that our Youth Truth Survey is live. So please, take a few minutes to give us some feedback. Talk to all your friends who have students in our school. We really do look at that and we make decisions about what to focus on. So the voice of all of our members of our community is really valuable. So I would nudge you to taking a few minutes and completing that. It is anonymous. The link has been sent a couple times already, and it'll be sent again tomorrow. Let's see. So I wanted to share that. Crystal would probably want me to update you on a couple things. I did have our facilities come out again and look at our courtyard. They have some concerns about how unlevel the ground is, how uneven it's settling, and how the concrete's coming up. And so they don't want us to move forward yet until they can figure out how to address that, because they're concerned about falls, etc. So that was disappointing, but I can understand. And so we're going to have to wait a little bit more to hear how we can remediate that, and how do we move forward to creating an outdoor learning space. And then the last thing is, I've been talking to our teachers about the STEAM night that we are collaborating with you on. They're excited. They're starting to think about what things they can do as a grade level to show off our STEAM learning from the school to really complement some of the other STEAM guests that we're having. I think that's probably all I have that I wanted to share with you. If anyone has a quick question or something I forgot, I'm more than happy to answer. Nothing? Oh, I see a hand way back there. If you have a question, just say it.
Okay, so I had an email come through the PTO email about how the school does holiday celebrations or special event celebrations like Martin Luther King's Day or Valentine's Day or Christmas. Like, what are the rules and expectations around those that are given to teachers?
I can kind of hear what you're saying. I didn't hear every word, Crystal, but I think you were talking about holiday celebrations of different kinds. Am I right? Can you? Okay, because you were cutting in and out. You know, as a district, we're really working on not so much having the celebrations in schools, but having recognitions of important days, because celebrations are so personal and like home bound, right? Some families celebrate things in a very particular way. Some celebrations are tied to religious values and systems. So we're really, as a district, moving toward recognizing and learning about things, but not celebrating in that like we all do it the same way to honor everyone. The other thing that you might be seeing across our district is we're moving away from having like big sort of classroom parties with lots of treats and sugar, because nutrition is a concern and students' dietary needs is a concern. And I know people can say, well, if the student can't have gluten, well, then they don't have to have any. But that's really hard to tell a kindergartner or a first grader. So I think what I could say here, and I'm more than happy to, you can contact me personally if you want to hear more, is that we're trying to be really respectful of individuals and look at this as we're a school where it's our goal to really share about important events, but not necessarily like have parties, that those are two different things. But we also want to recognize that things are going on in our culture and our kids need to know about them. So we're trying to strike that balance, and I think you'll see that from the district level as well. Does that help? Okay, I see. Thank you. I'm going to put it on mute, and I'm having some tea, as you can tell. So I'll try to hang on for a little bit and just kind of listen in. Thanks, everyone. I really appreciate you taking the time to be part of our school community.
Well, thank you for updating us on all the fun stuff at school and about celebrations within the classroom, and really focusing on the recognition of days and events and not so much on these parties. But that should answer the question that came through our email. So thank you. Let's head over to treasurer and money.
All right. Right of our accounts right now and like a little bit of what's been going. I'm going to go since the beginning of the year, January. So in our account, our savings account, because we had a really great jogathon and winter sale, and then some bank for Euro as well, is at about $35,000, which is outstanding. And our savings is a little over 5,000, which we fundraise so that we can do things to support the school. So not a ton of money is going out, but we did spend money on bingo and then the supporting the playground. So that was the special project that we did money going on that, and also just normal like Department of Justice and charitable activities, insurance, that type of thing. So we're really trying to gear up for Carnival and some of those continuing to for teacher. There's been teacher funds as well. But it's exciting to hear about that field trips too. That helps teachers are remembering there's some of that and for them. And that's it about. There's also the activity budget.
I'm going to start linking our budget and all those to our minutes so that way we can look at our financials. So we are completely transparent, but we are where it goes and gets it. So the actual, not just the video, but the minutes are posted in the newsletter, right? Yes. Okay. So in the newsletter, you can pull up the minutes and there will be for financials also. Starting this month. Don't look at last month because it's not there. But this month it'll be there. So yeah, thank you. Anything else? Nope. Okay. Then Karen, anything new on volunteer committee? Volunteer coordinator? Sorry, not committee.
Yeah, we have over 180 approved volunteers in our school. And as far as I know, I've reached out to loads of people who have been doing field trips in 4th grade and music with Stevie and things like that. And they are not having any problems finding anybody. If anything, people are competing and having to be drawn out of a hat to chaperone field trips and things like that. So that's going really well. You know, I will be, if anybody is interested, I will be doing staff appreciation. And also in the next couple of months is volunteer appreciation. So I will also be doing something for that as well. And if anybody wants to help with that, I would be more than happy to accept that help.
Actually, that leads right on to committees. First committee there. So staff appreciation. Friends, our email is Milwaukie El Puente PTO@gmail.com. Email us anytime. We check it a lot. So if you want to help out with something, please reach out to us. Do we have dates? Dates, I'm guessing for staff appreciation.
Staff appreciation. I'm trying to finalize the dates and then send them and agree with Karina to make sure that it's okay.
Okay, I have May 1st, 5th, but maybe that is incorrect.
No, that's what I have too, but I just want to make sure that I'm coordinating with Karina and being respectful of the building.
I was gonna say no to stuff.
I would hope so, but I still want to make sure that we're all on the same page.
Okay. So tentatively May 1st through 5th. But we're waiting on confirmation. Readathon. Let's hear from Readathon.
So I am behind, very behind. But so I'm going. I'm not sure if Karina's still on. Yes. I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna email you about moving the dates ahead a little bit. So hopefully it's March. And then I've had a people who are interested in joining together that committee. So if there's anybody else who wants to be part of Readathon, the main things I see the committee helping with is really the prize structure at this point. So it's gonna probably it'll be a Zoom meeting, and I can sit there during the day or in the evening. And so just kind of what levels. What are the hot things that are update those? It's just update and form for the teachers. So that is where Readathon is. I did get Pledge Star set up, run the online version. Well, I did put wrap that set up. Call me. I was like, yes, please do it. So questions about that?
That's movie night is our another dads would like to have another one. So we're hoping to have it done before spring break. So it's the end of March. So, you know, be on the lookout for that. Hopefully that's coming out soon. Then talked about a bit about Sing Night. That is April 13th. We are partnering with the school to join their title night. Right now, we just booked Ozzy. They're coming out. We have Bendino Art Studio. That's also coming out. And we, are really excited about where this could go. Show some cross connections between math and art, or science and math, and really show kids that these fields are really fun and not just like math, but you know, there are cool things to do with those. So we have small committee for that and with our teachers, so I think we're good there. That night of, we may need some parent volunteers for that. So as we get closer, look out for our newsletter or any sort of communication that might come out for that. Then Carnival, and just these are not order whatsoever by date, FYI. Carnival's at the end of the year. We tried to have one. I tried to have a meeting via Zoom. No one showed up. So I hate to sound like a whiner, but friends, I will not do it on my own. So I will have another kind of virtual meeting for that. But if nobody shows up again, like I'm not gonna do it by myself. So hopefully a few people step up and really want to help out with that, because next year I won't be here and I kind of have all of that in my head and on paper. But you know, it was a really fun event, and I'd love to see that continue. It's pretty easy to run, but I do need a few volunteers who are like, hey, I will take on food. I will work on field games. I will find a juggler, a face painter, you know, a few other things, or if you have different games that you'd like to see. So I will probably just pick a random date because I'm leaving it. I get to pick it. And hopefully you guys come or email me. Say, hey, I see that you put that out there. I can't make that date, but I want to help. Milwaukie El Puente, PTO-Milwakie. So yeah, please help out, because it is super important to have you at events, but the behind the scenes stuff is also just as important. Then apparel. I threw it out there last time. Nobody took me up on it. I don't have capacity to do that either. So somebody just needs to be in charge of it. Super easy. We send out the paperwork. People do it online. You just have to pass out the prepackaged stuff to classrooms. It'll probably take you like an hour's worth of work. Super easy. Yearbook. Okay. So is now the time, in the next couple of weeks, the time that we need to
and that we need to pick which company we're going to go with for the yearbook. They want to start getting that contract done really soon. So there are a million choices, a million different companies do this, but I've narrowed it down to two. And maybe we could decide together real quick which one we're going to go with. One of them is Just, also called School Label Online. I think we've gone with them before. And they're a more economic option. They're charging $10.29 was the estimate. It goes up and down by a little bit, but we're talking pennies, depending on exactly who we order. And then, of course, if we go over, the price goes up. But that's the more economical. You do a lot of the work yourself. The person has to do. You can pay quite a bit extra to have them plug everything in for you, use their like pre-made stuff. But you did it last time, and it was a medium amount of work. So I don't remember what we used last time. So that's okay. We can look it up. Yeah. Okay. The other option I liked is Dorian. They're the folks who do our school pictures. Which when I first thought about it was like, oh, that'll save us so much time, but it actually doesn't. They'll give you the pictures and just plug them into another company. That's not actually what they do. But they are a little bit more all-inclusive. They give you templates. They're willing to do just about everything for you. But they cost more. They're $12 a book. So it would take the price from just over $4,000 total to about $5,000 total if we paid for all of it. We talked about charging a few dollars for each one, but not passing on $12 for like a soft cover, 30-something pages. I wouldn't want to be asking to pay $12. I would want to pay $12. But that one is a lot easier. And the other thing about that one is built into that price, they also do a Candid Day where they come out their local, or they have a local branch. They're located in Washington, but they come out and like take a bunch of candid photos for free. Because we definitely had that last time. Okay, so a lot of them. Ooh, okay. All right. Nice. But I didn't want to go with the more expensive one just because it would be less work for me. Unless everybody thought that it was reasonable. So, anybody want to throw out any thoughts on $10.29 a book versus $12 a book? Because however much we charge families, the cost of that cost will be passed on to us. Anybody have thoughts on that one?
I think the general consensus of the students' parent body could be surveyed for the price that each family could afford and then figure an average.
Yeah, I think that's a later conversation because that's thinking about how much we want to charge families. But PTO is able to take on a big chunk of the cost of this for families. So we wouldn't necessarily need to pass the cost of the more expensive books on to the families. So right now I just have to figure out how much, if we as a PTO are willing to pay $200 more for this. And then later on we can decide how much we want to charge families when we're at that place. But they won't come out until June. We got time. Yeah.
Oh, he says, I was military just until recently, so this is new. Thanks for the clarification.
Absolutely. So can I get a thumbs up for people who are cool with me doing the $12? Because that's my preference. Sweet. All right, I'm spending money. Okay, well, thank you. I'm gonna set that up before our next meeting. I'll have that contract done and we'll talk next steps.
And Regina, did you have a question? Or just like a yay? Awesome.
Thumbs it up. All right, great. Then we're going to Maureen. Perfect. Maureen it is.
Dining for Gennaro is next. It's going really well. Andrea, are you out there?
I cannot.
Oh wait, no, I got an email. She's not gonna make it tonight.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't see her.
No, I remember. I only read the header, but she's not here tonight. But it's going really well. We have a few more coming up. I don't know them off the top of my head, but
If you check your newsletter, it's in there.
those newsletters. And so hopefully you guys are also enjoying those newsletters and reading them. Our meetings are on there. If ever you miss one, then you can watch it or read our notes and minutes. Yeah, so hopefully you guys are taking advantage of that. While we're here, also kind of my new, let's go to table topics. Staff appreciation touched on already, so that was on my agenda. New recruits, you also kind of touched on. We have 180 members or volunteers, which is awesome. Friends, just keep filling out those applications to volunteer. The more, the better. Courtyard and garden touched on. Earth Day, you have a plan, Karen, right? You said you had. Do you need people for that or no? I can't remember. Sorry.
Yes, it would be very helpful.
Okay. What month is Earth Day?
April.
What's the plan for-
I'm gonna be taking the blue bags that we have and sending them out to families in March. And everybody will get one or two with a little note. And if you can drop it off at any bottle drop location, I'll also add that on there of where they are within Clackamas, Happy Valley, Milwaukie area, because we're all kind of spread. And then I also want to figure out a best practice of either picking up or personally from people that can't, or making a big pickup here. And having my trailer, because I can work with Bottle Drop to make a big drop off for us. Danina says that she's logging off. Please feel free to email her with any dates or any other information. And she thanks us.
Have a good night. Okay, so that's Earth Day. You love recycling. Love helping out. Love the earth. Help out Karen, please. Who doesn't love that? I know. All right. So that's kind of our table topics, our unfinished business from last time. New business. We talked about classroom celebrations. We do have a teacher funds request. Miss Stevie would like a $60 book for music. And I'm trying to, put it out there to make sure it's okay before I just start approving things. But friends, are we okay with spending $60? I don't actually know I didn't look up what she has in her.
Well, she's one of them that's actually spent on it. It's only been like 4, but I don't think very much. So.
Okay. If she has funds available, are we okay spending $60 on music book? We're checking her funds now. Perfect. Then if she has funds available, I will let her know that she's all good there. Ooh, sorry, my brain is all over the place. Back to readathon. I know you're focused on that, but Miss A says she's readathon's biggest champion and she would love to help in any way that she can. So invite her to any meeting that you have. She said she'll go to meetings and plan.
There was somebody to like the reading thing, the augment her to perfect.
Do you happen to know, Jeremy's asking the title and composer of the music book?
I do, so I kind of pulled it up. It is Music of Our World, Mexico by Gilberto Soto and Mark Reimeyer. You know it? Seriously?
That's awesome. Anna has it in her classroom. Yeah, so, and she gets lots of reasons why she would like it for her class. So, but I'm pretty sure she has.
Yeah, I don't.
What was the name again? Music of Our World, Mexico.
Okay.
By Soto and Breimeyer.
She has to reimburse me $9.
Okay, so she's got funds. Moving on. Last year we talked about, and it didn't happen last year, but maybe this year it will, about putting money aside, and it's in our line item for fifth graders and making sure that they go away with something, either a shirt, maybe their yearbook is paid for, maybe they have, some sort of lunch party with all three classes, definitely not separating them. It could even be a weekend event because we're PTO, we could do that. So if there are parents out there that would like to, or guardians, whoever, somebody out there, community members, that would like to help brainstorm around how to celebrate our fifth graders, that would be really cool and awesome, because we do have money and just, want them to look back fondly on their elementary experience. So again, Milwaukie El Puente, PTO@gmail.com. Let us know. And I'll try to put that in our next newsletter also, because we do have time, before school is out. But it's good to start this process now because it does take time to buy things, have things mailed in, or get stuff planned, especially if we're only meeting once a month. So let me make a note, newsletter. Next one, fifth grade. Something.
So it's when you're right now. Are you at the stage of to help form a committee and put something in action, or are you at the stage right now just want?
I don't want ideas. I need somebody to take over
Okay.
a committee.
There you go. You want someone else to think of ideas.
I have a fifth grader and I would love to just show up to something or to have him celebrate something and have, I'm sure he would love not to have to plan it or there, really, but. So yes, I am looking for maybe fourth graders, and then every year it's like families of fourth graders that kind of, pass on the torch sort of deal. Yeah. So that's an idea. So if there are people that, want to do that, that'd be awesome. Friends, we're out there. What do you guys have? Questions, comments, concerns, stuff you'd like to see happen from PTO? But remember, if you throw out an idea, you got to be ready to back it up with some action also. We're here to support.
So if somebody thinks of something they want to ask, who could they email?
You guys can email at PTO@gmail.com and follow us on Facebook. PTO also. We do great branding. And yeah, you can check out our website, Milwaukie El Puente PTO.org. Most of that is up to date. Stuff I don't know, but if you've got a skill for that, let us know too. Yep. Otherwise, that's all, friends. Thanks for coming. We appreciate you very much. Field day is put on by PE teachers. So I'm sure that will happen, but that is not through us. And I believe we have 2 PE teachers, and so one of them will figure that out. Usually they work together. Sometimes we have 3 PE teachers, but they usually, one of them will take over. You'll hear from them. They'll ask for volunteers. I usually work with them and make sure that they have the volunteers that they need. But that's usually right around the time, either like a week or before, after our carnival. That's if we have it, if we have volunteers, people who are willing to put it on. All right, friends, that's all. Have a good night. Thank you for coming.